Alright, welcome back now. SABC2, which is our very own channel here on Morning Live, will from today be introducing a major schedule revamp. This is aimed at creating pillars that will in the long term attract audiences to a seamless viewing pattern. The channel will be introducing a 2-hour block of Afrikaans programming in the early prime time, and notable changes include the move of the channel's long-running soapie, Laan, to 6 p.m. weekdays, followed by the Afrikaans news at 6:30 and Sesotho news at 8:30. To tell us more about the changes and the new programs, like we said earlier on, that Morning Live will also be running on SABC2 from 6 to 9, starting from today. We're joined by the head of the channel, Gerhard Pretorius. Meneer Pretorius, goeiemorgen, welkom.
Goeiemorgen, baie dankie.
Thank you so much for coming through. Now, talk to us about these changes. I've already highlighted some, like Laan and, Afrikaans having its own prime time slot. After that, your Sesotho also having its fair share.
Yeah. Okay, what I think was confusing in the past, and this is part of why we changed and why the changes kick off today, was audiences found it difficult to find spaces where they actually belong on the channel. So after a long process, listening to our audiences, they write in daily and ask for things, we decided to create a little bit more of a block of Afrikaans content and a block of, let's call it, Sotho content later on in the evening. Okay. So, as I say, starting today, Monday to Thursdays and on Sundays, the block is between 6 and 8. As you said, Laan moves to 6. There's a 6:30 Afrikaans news bulletin, Mondays to Sundays. The new and exciting things that we're doing on a Monday night at 7 o'clock, we're doing Afrikaans sitcoms, which we haven't done in a long time. Okay. So we start off with some retro sitcoms. You'll see Vetkoek Paleis coming on, and then eventually going into some new content. After that, we're very excited about our own Afrikaans stroke South African music show called Kliphard, presented by Derek Gardner. So, sort of what's happening in the South African music industry, what's happening with artists. Yeah. On Tuesdays, we go to our 1-hour Afrikaans drama. Very exciting. There's some licensed content, but there's also a new series of Swartwater. There's a new series of Erfsondes. Yeah. On a Wednesday, we're going to do some cooking at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock. And after cooking, we're going to travel with a Parcellas and Authentique. On a Thursday night, what used to sit on a Friday is our music game shows. So the Noot vir Noots and Musiek Roulette is going to sit there, but there's a new title that we're introducing, not this Thursday because it's the State of the Nation address, so it's on the 16th, is a music game show called Beatrasibira. Yeah. And then our environmental content moves to a Sunday night at 7, the Voetsporers and the 50/50s.
So daar is genoeg vir almal.
Daar's baie Afrikaans en ek hoop genoeg vir almal. And then also the other nice thing is, as you guys said this morning, is we've extended Morning Live. Yeah. We're also introducing our kiddies content. Used to start at 3:30 in the afternoon. Now we've also created a new 3 o'clock children's offering Monday to Friday. So it's just a bit of a revamp. Things have moved to different slots to cater for when audiences are available.
All right. So basically, because we've seen a whole lot of changes happening here at the SABC from 2014, about 2 changes, 2015, 2016, and a whole lot of Afrikaans content was moved to SABC3. So you're bringing it back home.
Well, most of it actually moved back by November 2014. Yeah. But I think sort of the mistake that we might have made was just to recommission the content that sat there. So what we're doing now is we're going to try to, every 13 weeks in a slot, there will be a new offering. It might be sort of an old title that you remember, but it's a new series. Alternatively, there will be sort of a new title. So we're trying to keep it vibrant. That's why it's sort of when our whole campaign was, we're going to change, it's called Game Changers. So we're going to change the game, we're going to play differently on SABC2, and that's what's really exciting.
All right, and I do know there was a concern with the Sotho news. A lot of people were very much concerned about Sotho news being read at 6:30, so it's moving to 8:30 now.
No, it's moving to 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, so the Sotho news starts at 8. After that, we go into what we call our current affairs and IKB content. Then obviously at 9 o'clock, our soapie Mbango. And Monday and Tuesdays on at 21:30, there's our telenovela or 2-day-a-week soap called Keeping Score. On Wednesdays, there's great local drama for half an hour. On a Thursday night, there's Speak Out, which is our consumer affairs program. And on a Friday night, we always go back and look at the 1980s and, you know, the dramas that we made, and we laugh at ourselves.
But these decisions, I mean, we've seen, you know, how influential social media can. Have you considered social media? Because a lot of people would go to Twitter and voice their concerns to Facebook. These decisions, maybe, are they perhaps aligned with what people were saying on social network as well?
You know, the complication is, and I think that's what the audience always needs to remember, is we have 7 days a week, 4 hours of prime time. So we have 28 hours of prime time content. And we all have our own tastes. I would prefer to have drama between 6 and 10 every night. You might like cooking between 6 and 10. We need to cater for 50+ million people out there.
And it makes it difficult.
And it's very difficult. And then we have license conditions. You know, we have to broadcast so many hours of this during the week in prime time. We have to broadcast almost 20 hours of languages other than English in prime time. So it becomes... But we listen to our audiences, and obviously there's going to be sort of a big response to what we're doing now. So tell us, you know, go to the SABC2 website, you know, do you like it, don't you like it? Sometimes give it a week, see how it feels, and then, you know, sort of if needs be, we have the conversation and,
Talking about our audience, take us through what viewership trends have been like with the channel. How have things been?
All I can say is, and I know that we've, as you said, we've made a few changes since 2014, not always maybe the best changes. And when you make changes, it really takes about 3 to 4 months before the audiences settle again.
It's true.
I think audiences also like different things now. I don't know if you know, worldwide soapies, like we know them, have kind of disappeared. There's very, very little of that left. So it's, what are we going to do in South Africa? Do we continue with this? Because they draw huge audiences.
Which brings the issue of content. Do we have enough content, South African content, to replace what we had from overseas?
I think so, and there's an industry that is working really hard at the moment under very, 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 very strict conditions. I know that we have a new show that starts broadcasting on Friday called Red Cake, Not the Cooking Show.
Yeah, that's by Dumi Marek.
That's
the comedian.
One,
Yes, yes.
They started filming on Friday for broadcast next Friday. So the industry out there that are so busy sort of assisting SABC1 and long-term SABC3, because they're going to change a bit later, to get all this new stuff that we need on air.
We are looking forward to those changes. Thank you so much, Gerhard.
Great, thank you.
Bye, dankie. There you have it. That was SABC2 Head of Channel, Gerhard Pretorius, talking to us about the new lineup here on SABC2. Like we said, we are with you here on Morning Live until 9 o'clock starting from today.